Hello folks, Osak here, coming to you on April the 10th, 2025. This is actually the second video I've done today. And this second video is about a cool gizmo that I have that I just wanted to share with you. Now this is something that would interest you if you have a cap and ball revolver, and maybe you've seen that people can shoot regular like target loads of regular cartridges out of their cap and ball revolvers with a particular type of a cylinder, replacement cylinder called a conversion cylinder. And so that's what I'm reviewing today is the Howell's conversion cylinder, and mine is specific to my Pietta uh, Remington New Army revolvers that I have that I'm going to show you. Okay, but they make them for the different Colt models and whatnot. You can find them at like Midway USA, Dixie Gun Works, Track of the Wolf. I'm trying to think of some of the other places out there. Maybe Cabela's. If you look around, you can find these available at other places. And the nice thing about those is just like the pistols themselves, the cap and ball pistols, revolvers, in most jurisdictions in the United States, you need to check your local laws, of course. You can have these shipped directly to your house and don't have to go through an FFL dealer because they're not considered, strictly speaking, to be firearms. Okay, they're replicas of pre 18 or 1899 or whatever the date is. It's in the law. Firearms, and so they are not considered to be firearms. Even they kind of are obviously, right. They're black powder firearms. So this might interest you if you have one already, or maybe you're interested in getting one, but you'd like to have the utility of being able to shoot regular, cartridges that you could purchase, just like for modern firearms out of it. Okay. Now again, these shoot the lower pressure cowboy loads or target loads. I think they're okay with standard 45 Colt loads in this particular instance, but you want to keep the pressures down on it, and then they'll do just fine. And but they're basically, again, available for different models. Mine's, again, the Remington 1858 it's referred to. That's not really quite correct. 1858 is a patent date that actually patented the cylinder release, as you see here, the way it locks in with the loading ram. But these are actually called Remington New Armies, and the New Army is a 44 caliber. This is unloaded, of course, just to point that out. And I'll be dropping the cylinder out here in just a second to show you how that works. But these cylinders, these are conversion cylinders, and they allow you to replace the black powder cylinder that comes with it, that has the nipples on it for the caps and whatnot that you load, with the ram. Okay, replace that with this, which you load up with the metallic cartridges and be able to shoot those out. Now this is called a 44 caliber black powder, but it's actually in modern parlance, if you will, it's actually a 45. The grooves in here are 4.52 inch, I believe, and then the lands are tighter yet, but it's perfectly the same size as our modern 45 caliber handguns, and so it will shoot perfectly well 45 ACP, or in this case 45 Colt. Howell, again, the manufacturer of the cylinder that I'm going to be showing you here, makes these for all kinds of different pistols, and they make them for this particular model, as well as the other, the traditional longer version. This is a sheriff's model, but any of the standard like Pietta or Uberti, Remington New Armies, Remington Navies, they in 36 caliber, they have specific cylinders available for them as well. Okay, and they run about $260. So they used to be a lot less. You used to be able to find them, but like everything, they've gone up, and these have gotten really popular, and they've gone up in price, I think, just because of the popularity increase in demand. But the way these work, let me just show you how it works. You place the hammer in half cock, okay, and then what you do is you drop your loading ram down to about here. That releases the cylinder pin. That way you can pull that out, and then it'll just drop right out. And you want to kind of rotate it clockwise, always clockwise, and then it just drops right out of the revolver, out of the cylinder window. Now the reason that you want to always, when you're putting it in or taking it out, is roll it kind of clockwise, and I'm talking clockwise from your perspective back here, okay, is that there's a ratchet in there. If you can see in here, that's a little ratchet. Now that's the thing that is actuated by the trigger and the mechanism in here that actually advances the cylinder as you cock the hammer. And then at the bottom, of course, is the cylinder stop bolt. All right, and I'll be talking a little bit more about that. Now that's retracted when you're in half cock, but the ratchet is not. So you want to make sure, be careful always to kind of roll the cylinder clockwise when you're taking it in or putting it back out. Now let's look at the cylinder. Again, this is a Howell. There are other, I think Taylor's makes a version. There's other versions out there, and you can buy these wherever you can buy typically the cap and ball revolvers themselves, and those can be purchased from like Dixie Gun Works or Cabela's or Bass Pro. Midway USA sells them, okay, and I think I might have gotten this from Midway USA, I don't remember, but you'll notice here it's got a little cap on the end, and so the cylinder is bored through, and this allows you to drop and load cartridges into the cylinder just like that. All right, and of course it has 5 chambers. Now this one, they also do make them that have 6, just so you know. This particular model has 5. I like that because it gives you a little more meat around the cylinder. It's a little stronger. Okay, but you can load all 5 and put it in, and there's actually extra safety notches around the outside where the bolt stop can come in and lock the cylinder up. So you can actually carry it, and the hammer will be sitting between the cylinders. Okay, so it's safe. It's not resting on a primer. I'll show you a little bit more about that. Okay, let me put my cartridge back out, back to safe mode. Okay, and once you get this loaded up, you just take your little guide hole. See, there's a hole there, and then there's a pin, and you just simply line that up, put that on top of your cartridges that are loaded in there. Now you're ready to put it back in the revolver, and you can shoot. Okay, the way that works, and get my revolver back, is you kind of hold the loading ram forward, again with the still in half cock, and with the cylinder pin pulled forward here, and again roll it which way? I want to roll it clockwise. Okay, that way it's not going to damage your hand on that little ratchet there. Okay, so you roll it in, kind of fit it in here. Clint Eastwood makes it look so much easier on High Plains Drifter. I think that's the movie where he does that. But there you go. And once it'll kind of slip in, and you'll know when you got it lined up. And then you just kind of keep rolling it clockwise. There we go. Now it's lined up. Now I can push the cylinder pin in, get it lined up right. There we go. Okay, so that's in, and now it'll lock in when I push the loading ram back up and lock it up. Now it's ready to go, and you can turn it like that. It's in half cock. So then once you, if you want to put it into a safe spot, remember we have the extra cylinder stop. So you have the normal ones like you would on any cylinder, but then you have an extra one between the cylinders, and it allows you to put the hammer, okay, down into one of those safety notches. Like, let me just cock it back all the way. Actually rotate it into where you want it. There we go. And it wants to go all the way. Okay, there we go, about halfway. There we go. Lift it back, and then it'll, and then the bolt stop in the bottom, okay, down here, will click in and hold the cylinder in place. It actually, the firing pin and the hammer actually does not contact the cylinder face, as you can see there. This one is actually set up to use the bolt stop as the safety. Okay, now if you look at the cylinder that comes with the cap and ball, you know, with the nipples on it, it actually has little notches on the back of the cylinder that allow the hammer to actually sit right down into those notches for a safety. All right, so this is a little different. It uses the bolt stop, which is pretty cool. But I can carry 5 of these loaded up, and it's safely. And it doesn't matter if it's dropped or whatever, it's not going to go off because the firing pin is not, the hammer is not resting on the firing pin. Okay, and the firing pin, each cylinder has its own firing pins. Again, you put it in half cock, take it back out, drop the ram, pull the cylinder pin out, pull the cylinder pin out, like that, rotate it clockwise, so you're not damaging your ratchet, your hand, and then you can see this again. Now the back of it, as you can see here, each has its own firing pin, and these are not spring loaded, they're just kind of floating. All right, and it's got of course the central ratcheting mechanism, and then the part that goes into where the center for the cylinder pin to go through. So each one of the cylinders, each cartridge has its own firing pin. Okay, put that back together. All right, and I'll go ahead and show you again how it goes back together. So you just roll that in, roll it clockwise. Come on. It takes a little jiggering around. It's easier, I find it, if I hold it here. There we go. Get it lined up, push your cylinder pin in, lock it in place with your loading ram, and now you're ready to go. And then if you want to put it in a safe position, you got to line up, you got to cock it all the way and then bring it up just halfway a little bit, not cocked, and then let it down and then rotate it until the bolt stop clicks in the mid notch that will create it to be safe. And this way you don't have a cylinder, you don't have a firing, again, you don't have the hammer resting on one of the firing pins that would be resting against the primer. Okay, so again, really cool. And again, it shoots 45 Colt in this particular instance. You just want to make sure that you're using cowboy loads or like standard low pressure loads. You don't want anything that's been loaded hotter. All right, typically best, if you're not sure, just to stick with the cowboy labeled, or if you're a hand loader, you can hand load your own. That's what I do, and that's I put together a load here that uses 6.5 grains of Winchester 231 with 180 grain Missouri bullet, round nose flat point. Now, you do not just automatically use any load that you see shown on YouTube. Do your own research, use a loading manual, check it out. I know for a fact that this is very safe. It's going to go about 850 feet per second or so, which is about perfect for what this revolver should be sighted in for. All right. And of course, they're typically set up for round balls, but they're also set up for conical bullets, and these are kind of conical bullets, aren't they? So anyway, and so once you got it in place, you just cock it. It brings the cylinder ready to fire, and then pull the trigger. It fires, bam, just like normal, and then so on and so forth until you exhaust all 5 rounds. And then again, you just repeat the procedure that I showed you already, and that allows you to remove the spent cases. You'll have to have something to poke them out with. Okay, because there's no extractor, so this little wood dowel is advisable to have, and then you can load those back up, put it back in. So it's not real fast to reload, but it's a lot faster than shooting the the black powder or black powder substitute in within the normal configuration, loading each cylinder, putting the caps on, and the whole 9 yards. Plus, it keeps the gun a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to clean up afterwards. And the other nice thing about it is that if you shoot at an indoor range, most of your indoor ranges do not allow black powder stuff or black powder substitute. Too much smoke fills the whole shooting bays up with the smoke, and which is annoying to the other people that are shooting because they can't see their targets, and it stinks. And anyway, so they don't allow it. So this way you can bring your black powder revolver to the indoor shooting range and show them what you're doing, and then they'll let you shoot the smokeless powder loads in there, which is just like any other, if you're shooting a single action army or anything like that. Also, I was going to show you the holster that I have for it. This is a Hunter model. I believe I ordered this off of Cabela's. Don't ask me which one it is. I'll show you the back. It's got a number on there. If you can see it. Something is a little worn off. 1801, 1017. But it's just basically the holster that's set up for, I believe, Colt single action army. The Remington fits it just fine. I like it. It's got the it's got the hammer thong right there, which secures it in so it doesn't fall out. If you're got it on your belt and you're jogging around, maybe you're on horseback, whatever. And so it's handy to have that way. And it's a good quality for what it is, and it was very inexpensive. I don't think it was more than $40 or something like that when I bought it. And so I've got a couple, 2 or 3 of these. I like them. Okay, they're nice. They're nice holsters. The other thing about this is, let's say you want to do cowboy action shooting, and you'd like to be able to shoot different categories, like you'd like to do the black powder. I forget what they call it, the Pioneer, or I can't remember the name of that category. I don't shoot that particular category, but you want to do that as well as be able to shoot traditional cowboy. And in this way, you could use this cylinder to shoot the regular cartridges, and then if you wanted to also have your other cylinder, you could shoot the other category as the actual black powder. Okay, and so just something to think about with that as well. And so it gives you a lot of reasons that people might want one of these. All right. Now, the other thing is that there are black powder revolvers that are made that are like the Avenging Angels, Mike Bellevue calls them. By the way, Mike Bellevue has a lot of good stuff on black powder revolvers, cap and ball, as well as historical stuff and stuff about the movie westerns. Really great channel. Duelist 1957, I think it is. Sorry, Mike, if I messed that up. It was in 1954. But you just look for Duelist and then 1950 something. I think it's 57, if I remember right. And then he's got, his name's Mike Bellevue. He's an old gun writer, and he's been doing the YouTube channel for, I guess, about 15 years or so, maybe longer. And it's a wonderful channel. I highly recommend you check that out. So, but he's got more information on these conversion cylinders there as well. But what I was going to say is that they make little compact ones, little, like snub nose 1860 Armies, mostly those in 1851 Colts, that they basically produced with like a 2 or 3 inch barrel without the loading lever, and Howell makes these cylinders for those. So if you wanted a traditional carry gun, I guess you could say, that would provide an option for you. I'm sure you could get a holster that would fit one of those, or maybe have one made. So anyway, just some different things to think about. It's kind of an interesting, like I said, gizmo that I like, and I just wanted to share that with you and let you know, what I think about it. And I've shot these, and they work great, and as long as you regulate the load right, they shoot right pretty much to the sights. The same as if they shoot well with the balls they loaded with them, they typically shoot very similar with the cowboy loads. Okay, so that's it. That's all I got for you on that. Thanks for watching. And again, if you like what you see, please hit the like for me, and subscribe if you would like to be notified or see notifications when I'm coming out with new ones. Okay, thanks so much. Take care.